MEG-3 movie began after the events of the Mariana Trench expedition. Jonas Taylor has retired from active missions and now teaches marine survival to young researchers. Haunted by past losses and the destructive power of the Megalodons, he keeps a low profile near a coastal town in New Zealand. But peace is short-lived when an underwater quake opens a new trench, the Antarctic shelf one colder, deeper and more hostile than any explored before. A rogue team of eco-miners breaches the thermocline, hoping to extract valuable minerals, unaware of what they're about to release. Within days, strange sonar readings and ice shelf collapses hint at something massive moving beneath the surface. Jonas is contacted by Mac and DJ, who have been tracking these disturbances and suspect a new MEG threat. Jonas initially refuses to get involved, believing he's done with deep-sea horrors. But when a group of scientists including MEG, now a talented oceanographer, go missing near the quake zone, Jonas can't sit back anymore. MEG had been studying ancient aquatic life in the region and had theories about prehistoric predators adapting to extreme cold. Fearing the worst, Jonas agrees to lead a rescue and recon team back into the depths. He assembles a small crew, including DJ, Mac, and a new deep-sea pilot, Lexi, who lost her brother in a prior trench mission. The team preps an experimental submersible equipped with improved sonic defenses and glacial armor as they descend into the icy trench. They're stunned by the eerie calmness, massive frozen walls, bioluminescent predators, and complete silence. Suddenly, a faint ping from MEG's last distress signal guides them deeper. They reach a subaquatic cave system where they find signs of life, equipment scattered, and blood smeared on the inner hull of a damaged vessel. Before they can react, a massive shadow passes over them, a creature twice the size of the original MEG, with a pale, scarred body and ice-covered dorsal fins. The team realizes they've awakened something that was frozen for centuries. On the surface, strange attacks begin to occur near Antarctic research station. Ships vanish, icebergs crash into shorelines, and survivors speak of a ghost shark. Meanwhile, Jonas' team attempts to flee, but their submersible is damaged by the creature's tail. Stranded, they take refuge in an old undersea mining outpost, once abandoned due to methane leaks. There, they discover MEG's research logs. She'd been tracking not just one MEG, but a pack led by an alpha female dubbed Frostbite. Unlike the previous MEGs, these ones hunt in coordinated patterns, using the terrain to their advantage. Jonas realizes the stakes are higher than ever. If even one of these new MEGs escapes the Antarctic zone and enters warmer currents, it could destabilize ecosystems across the globe. Back on land, a private tech corporation, Helios Corp, seizes the opportunity to exploit the creatures for genetic bioweapons. They launch drones into the trench, attempting to tag and extract DNA samples from the pack. This enrages the Alpha MEG, which begins hunting the drones and anything emitting electronic signals. Helios interference worsens the situation, driving the MEGs toward the surface and into open water channels. Jonas warns global authorities, but Helios uses legal loopholes to continue their operations. As tensions rise, Lexi suggests using an electromagnetic pulse EMP to disable the MEG's sonar advantage temporarily. The team modifies their submersible with the MP coils and plans a high-risk ambush on an underwater glacier ridge. They succeed in stunning one MEG, capturing it briefly, but Frostbite retaliates by ambushing the team, killing one of their divers and heavily damaging the EMP system. In the chaos, DJ and Mac barely make it back, shaken and injured. Back at base, Jonas begins to break down emotionally, overwhelmed by guilt and the weight of his past. He confides in Lexi, admitting that he sees MEG as family and can't lose her too. Lexi, whose brother died similarly, reminds Jonas that they can't fight monsters with grief, only with focus. Inspired, they prepare a final plan, lure Frostbite into a volcanic thermal vent and trigger an implosion using methane gas and seismic charges. The bait Jonas himself piloting the damaged sub, broadcasting a distress signal. Meanwhile, MEG, still alive and hiding in a research pod, sends a weak signal that helps the team pinpoint her location. Lexi and DJ rush to extract her, while Jonas begins the deadly decoy mission. As Frostbite takes the bait, the other Megs begin to follow. Drawn by the injured prey, Lexi and MEG narrowly escape. As the volcanic zone begins to heat, Jonas pushes the sub to its limits, guiding the pack deeper into the vent. Just before detonation, Jonas ejects himself into a thermal crevice, using a one-man escape pod. The explosion collapses the vent, incinerating Frostbite and trapping the remaining Megs under tons of debris. Jonas is presumed dead after losing contact. The world mourns his sacrifice, and Helios Corp faces global backlash for triggering the disaster. A memorial is erected in Jonas' honor near the original trench. Weeks later, DJ receives a scrambled message from a deep-sea frequency. Jonas, barely alive, has washed up near a remote island. The final scene shows Jonas recovering, watching the ocean quietly, knowing deep inside that something ancient still lurks. A shadow moves under the waves, but this time, it's not a Meg, it's something far older, with glowing eyes and a haunting raw dot. As Jonas recovers on the island, he's discovered by a retired oceanographer, Dr. Kellen, who has been documenting unexplainable sea creature migrations for decades. Kellen reveals he's seen the same glowing eyes before etched in cave paintings deep in the Andes, and in sonar records dating back 70 years. He believes the Megs were only guardians or scouts of something far more dominant. The concept shakes Jonas, but he knows he can't walk away again. Back in civilization, MEG and Lexi begin working together to form a new global marine defense alliance, one that would ensure no other corporation there tampers with trench zones. They propose an independent deep-sea monitoring organization backed by scientists, not billionaires. MEG begins to speak at global forums, sharing her story and warning the world that what lies beneath is beyond business or war, it's survival. Public sentiment begins to shift, and governments start funding environmental trench preservation efforts. Jonas reunites with MEG and Lexi through a covert extraction arranged by Kellen. Though physically weakened, he's mentally sharper than ever, obsessed with one question: what woke Frostbite? He theorizes that the underwater quake wasn't natural, but triggered by thermal pulses from an unknown deep earth mechanism. This hints at something artificial deep below, potentially built long before human civilization. The answer may lie in a newly found sunken temple that Kellen shows them via drone footage, half buried, glowing faintly beneath the silt dot. In the closing moments, the camera dives deep into the ruins Kellen discovered. Ancient carvings show creatures resembling the Megs, but worshipping something far more colossal. A dormant behemoth slumbers beneath an undersea mountain, breathing slowly in sync with the planet's tectonic pulses. As the trench rumbles again, its eye opens massive, golden, intelligent. The story fades to black with one final echoing sound, not a roar, but something like a deep, ancient whisper.